Hi everyone, it's me, Carli, and today I'm making a video about what I do as an in-company freelance business English teacher in Spain. Okay, so in case you've never seen before, like I said, my name is Carli and I make videos about teaching English online, offline, and abroad. I've been living and working in Spain for the past 9 years. This is my 9th year in Spain. Wow. And I also lived 1 year in Australia. So I've been abroad 10 years. I've been teaching English in Spain the entire time I've been here. I started as an auxiliar de conversación. I have a whole video about it if you want to check it out. I did that for like 3 years, and then I worked as a coordinator at an academy for a year and a half. And most of the time while I was working as an auxiliar, I was also doing a little side hustle money of teaching business English. I have a background working in a law firm in the US while I was in college, and I studied political science and economics. So those are two powerful things to put on your resume or your CV. But they say CV here in Spain. That's what really helped me get my foot in the door. I think teaching business English is a very good job if you are living here. You definitely will make more money as a business English teacher than you can working as auxiliar. Like one of those academy schools or charter school, all that stuff, like you should be making more than 2,000 euros a month as an in-company business English teacher, in my opinion. Okay. So anyway, I'm making this video because when I first came to Spain, I didn't know anyone who did the job that I do now, and I never had any hope that I could even do the work that I'm doing. So I just want to encourage other people who maybe are in the predicament that I was in the past, like let you know about this career opportunity that you may have. Also, in case you've seen my other videos about teaching English online, I'm obviously not making any videos about teaching English online for the time being because I personally do not believe in teaching English online in China anymore, and it's not really possible because of the new laws that they've enacted. I'm kind of just staying away from the teaching English online right now. Teaching adults in businesses can be hard, it can be intimidating, but it definitely gets a lot easier. When I look back at myself when I first started out, I was like so nervous every time I walked into a company. I would be like hi everybody, really nervous. Maybe not that nervous because I'm not a nervous person like that, but I would get nervous. And now I walk in there, I'm like, dun, 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 dun. Do this work. I'm the teacher. They're the ones who are the students. They're the ones who probably feel like worried and a little insecure. They're the ones who are going to be speaking in a foreign language. So it's up to you to take control of how you feel and your emotions when you go into these places, because you definitely need to be confident when you're going into these businesses and working with these people. If they sense that you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so I personally aim to work somewhere between 30 and 40 hours a week in order to make the amount of money that I personally would like to make. This is not including maybe subbing, working for teachers who are sick or on holiday or something, or doing workshops. I think someone who's teaching business English and that has a college degree should get at least 20 euros an hour. I personally have made up to 50 an hour, 40 an hour. That would be like a normal high range for me. And then on the lower end, 25, 24, 23 is more the norm. 20 is the absolute lowest, and the only reason why I would accept 20 is because maybe that company is giving me a lot of hours in the same location. It's a good company, they're reliable, I trust them. Less than 20, no, because if you're working as a freelancer, you have to pay the government before you take any of your money home per month. So when you first start out, it's not so bad. I think it's just like 60 euros or 80 euros a month, and then it gradually goes up to being almost 300 euros a month. So yeah, then when it goes to your social security, it goes to the universal healthcare that you get access to, but 300 straight up out of pocket. Yes, of course you can stop being a freelancer for a couple months, 3 months, 4, whatever you need, if you anticipate that you're not going to have work for that time. But if you're working, you technically should be paying this 300. Let me just talk a little bit more about why I choose personally to be a freelancer rather than working under contract. And that's because you get a lot of control over your schedule. You can earn more from these companies than you would otherwise. They typically give people working under contract less money than people who are working as a freelancer. Now, that difference could vary a lot, but just think about it. If they are paying you as a freelancer, that means they're not having to pay the government as much money and fees and whatnot to contract you, so they should be paying you more. So definitely make sure you're getting more than whatever they offer the people who are under contract. I personally do not like to have all my eggs in any baskets. Wait, that's not even the right thing. I don't like to put all my eggs in the same basket. Okay. And why is that? When I first started working as a business English teacher, I got pretty much suckered out of 600 euros. This company owed me 600 euros and they filed for bankruptcy. I have a whole video about it. You can check it out if you want to, but I'm not gonna get on to that. But anyway, I personally prefer to work for different companies in case there's some issue and you lose all your hours with that company. I don't want to be without any income, so I work for at least 5 or 6 different companies. I also like that I get a tax refund and I'm able to expense many things as a freelancer. Photocopies that I'm making, any kind of teaching supplies, my computer that I use for work. All right, so who do I teach? Okay, so yeah, I live in Spain and I primarily teach people who live in Spain too, but I also teach some people who are living in other parts of the world. I have a student who's in Saudi Arabia, Ireland, Spanish people who are living in Ireland who I teach. So they don't have to necessarily live in Spain, but the majority of the people are Spanish and do live in Spain, and a lot of them even in Madrid, but some of them live in other parts of Spain too. I personally prefer to teach people who are at least B1 level, B1 up to C1, C2. That's fine with me. I don't like teaching A level classes, especially online, because it's really, really hard to teach A1, A2 online. You have to speak very slowly because it's not so easy for them to see your face and the movements that you're making, and so just all the issues that you might have with a normal meeting, imagine that with a whole group of people who don't understand English. And also, I like to teach Cambridge exams. Cambridge exams are these exams to ascertain your level of English from the British Council. So it's British English, but I think with some practice it gets easier to teach. It's all by the book. I love teaching Cambridge exam. And other things I teach are like presentations, meetings, telephone English, emails, typical business things. And it's pretty much who and what I teach. Sometimes when I teach people working in economics, I definitely do a lot of more specialized lessons with them, so we can talk about economics because I studied that. Pharmaceuticals, I have to do my research, but I do try to bring health aspect into it. So it really just depends on the class, but I think being a jack of all trades and being able to teach many different things will definitely make you a more appealing candidate. So try to think about what you have knowledge in and use that to your advantage when you apply to work for different jobs. All right, let me tell you something really awesome that I love about teaching business English classes, and that is the cancellation policies are usually amazing. For example, if I have a group class, I pretty much guaranteed that money no matter what. Even if nobody shows up to the class, I still get paid. There are certain circumstances where the group might be able to change the day or the time, but for the most end, it's guaranteed hours, guaranteed money, perfect. One-on-one classes really vary from company to company. You have to ask them what is their policy. Sometimes they're all programmed hours, which means no matter what, you get paid for all of the classes that are on your calendar. Sometimes the people have the right to cancel the class or reschedule it 24 or 48 hours beforehand. If they don't, then you get paid the full amount. If a person doesn't come to the class at all, they just do not show up, you get paid no matter what. And usually you can leave within 30 minutes of the start time of the class. If the person already told you they're not going to come, you obviously don't have to go. So for me, that can be an awesome day sometimes. So maybe I have, 6 8 hours scheduled and I end up only teaching 3 hours because people are busy. It's like the end of the fiscal year, or they've got all these deadlines, so nobody shows up to the class and I go to the gym or I go to the supermarket or do whatever I want. But I mean, I want them to come to class and learn, but I'm not going to complain when I get, extra free time because they don't. Sorry. Okay, so something bad about being a freelancer though is that you don't get paid for holidays. So that means that whole, end of December to mid January and towards the end of January, you don't get paid. It can be harder to find classes in the summer. After many years of experience, I don't have any problems finding classes in the summer. So it really just depends on you and what you're able to find, but you don't get any paid vacation. So it's kind of bad, but like I said, I don't really want to disclose exactly how much money I get paid on average per month, but I definitely get paid more than the average Spaniard. And I think that's the norm for a business English teacher who's working with the kind of clientele that I'm working with and demanding the rates that I demand to get. Okay, so I've told you a lot of great things about being a in-company business English teacher, but let me tell you some of the bad things. And so one bad thing is that you're kind of like a therapist, because your students will come to you, especially if it's a one-on-one class, and they'll be telling you, personal things in their lives. Sometimes it's like sad things, sometimes you're like, oh, this is so awkward, and you don't know what to say. Sometimes it's not so easy to see progress with adults. I love teaching kids because they're fun, but they zap the energy out of you and they don't pay as much as the adult classes. So that's why I've transitioned to teaching adults. But the bad thing about teaching adults is that sometimes you can't see any progress with them because they don't come to class, they don't do homework, they don't do the things they need to do to actually aprovechar, take advantage of the class. And as a teacher, it doesn't feel good when you have been telling the person the same thing for like months and months or years. People are. Another bad thing about teaching adults is that it can be kind of monotonous, especially if you're teaching a lot of the same kinds of classes or the same levels. So it's up to you to vary your classes if you can. Don't teach the same lesson 15 times a week. That'll drive you crazy. Let me tell you something else really awesome that I love about teaching adults is that you get to learn a lot about different cultures. You are meeting people who live in different parts of the world, totally different. When I had my students from Saudi Arabia, they would tell me some things. I was like, what? Spain, not so as shocking, but sometimes they tell me some things I was like, what? Learning about their jobs, it can be really interesting. And the last great thing about teaching these kind of classes for me is that they can be a lot of fun. They can be so much fun. Like, kids are fun, but adults can be fun too. If you get adults to loosen up a little bit, it can be really fun. And and it feels great when your adult student comes to you and says, thank you so much for helping me. I had this meeting yesterday and I was awesome. I'm like, yay. Or they passed the Cambridge exam and they're like, yeah, I'm going to put this on my CV and I'm going to quit working at this company. So that's a great feeling. Okay, so anyway, I really hope you guys like this video. If you like it, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to try really hard to make another video again soon. Have some exciting news. But thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate everybody who watches my videos and subscribes. You are the best. You are the best.